Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is David. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I know some people are new to my channel, so if you're watching this, thank you so much. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for clicking on this video and for subscribing to my channel. And if you're just watching this video, if you found it on YouTube, and if you're watching this, thank you so much. It really means the world to me when people watch my videos. And yeah, thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel if you find this entertaining. I've tried to record this video numerous times, so hopefully this is going to be the last time. Before I get into my video, I just want to give a quick channel update for you guys. I know I said in a previous video that I would be going back to work at the middle of this month, but my boss has been emailing me and the workforce and letting us know that the cinema, where I work at, will be reopening to the public on the 3rd or the 4th, I can't remember which date it is, of August. So I will be going back to work at the beginning of August. So from August I will be doing my, I will be recording twice a week. I was going to say twice a day. From Monday, every Monday and Friday I will be uploading a video starting from August. So, for the rest of this month, I will just be uploading whenever I feel like it. So, just so you guys know where I am, and what my channel is going to be doing. Excuse me. The book I'll be reviewing today is 2001: A Space Odyssey by Arthur C Clarke. I'm doing this as part of a collaboration with a channel called Thinking Film, who, as the channel suggests, he is a film-based YouTube channel. He reviews movies, not really mainstream movies, but more unknown movies. He did a good review on The Lobster, which was a really good film. When I saw it, I was the only one in the room, but it was a very strange movie. And check out his content. So I'm going to be reviewing the novel, and he is going to be reviewing the movie by Stanley Kubrick. He hasn't uploaded it yet, but I'm sure he will be doing that soon, in the next day or so. I told him that I'll be uploading this video today, so hopefully he'll be uploading it soon. I will put a link down in the description box down below to his channel, so please check out his channel, support him, subscribe to him if I can talk, and yeah, show his channel some love, and watch his review on 2001 when it eventually comes out, hopefully soon. So 2001 was written from the 1964 rather to 68, and it was published on the in July 1968. Sorry, and as I said, it's written by Arthur C Clarke, who is a British author who was born on the 16th of 1917, and he died on the 19th of March 2008. So this is the first book I've ever written. Read by Arthur C Clarke. Obviously I know who he is. Everyone knows who Arthur C Clarke is. It's kind of like everyone knows who Douglas Adams or Terry Pratchett or Stephen King is without even reading any of their work. This isn't the first book I've ever picked up by him. I do have another book that I picked up first called Childhood's End by him. I haven't read it, but I am planning to. Even though my experiences with 2001 were fairly mixed, it was kind of average, middle of the road book for me, but it hasn't put me off of reading Childhood's End and picking up any other works that I find by Arthur C Clarke. You can't really judge a whole author just by reading one book of theirs. So yeah, but yeah. So and also the movie. It was kind of weird when I was researching it, because the movie came before the book. The movie was released in London anyway on the 10th of May 1968. So the movie technically was released about 1.5 months before the book was published. Usually, it's very strange. Usually the book is published first and actually is done first, and then the movie adaptation comes out about a year or so later. So it's kind of so I don't know how that actually worked out. Maybe Stanley Kubrick was excited about this, making this movie, because it's very artsy. This book is very strange. It's kind of like the movie, but I'll explain myself as I go along. Also, Stanley Kubrick and Arthur C Clarke both wrote the screenplay for the movie adaptation. So yeah. So before I get into my video, I just want to say that as always, this is going to be a spoiler-free video. I'm not going to spoil anything about the story. Just in case you want to read this book, I'll pick it up at any time. I'm not going to spoil anything about the main story. And as always, this is going to be my own thoughts and opinions regarding this. If your opinions are different than mine, that is fine. You're entitled. We have all different opinions about different novels. So if you like this novel more than me, that is fine. If you dislike this book, that is fine. But this is my own. This is my own opinions for it. So the story. The story of 2001 is a very strange story. It doesn't focus on one single character or one single group of characters that are are in the novel from beginning to end. It has a single group of characters that have no connection with each other, and I'll explain more later. So the books starts with the creation of humankind or mankind or whatever, humankind. I won't be sexist. And it will be and it starts off with when we're all cave people and ape men and living in caves and all that stuff. And it finishes off when we are all living in space and we are all traveling in spaceships in outer space and visiting other planets and living and working in space and living and working in space stations and rockets in space. That's where it ends up. So the story. So when the story starts. Excuse me. So when the story starts, it starts off with a bunch of cavemen or ape men. Excuse me, as it actually is actually described in the novel. The leader of this group of cavemen is called Moonwatcher. These ape men don't talk. There is no dialogue between them. They communicate with each other with a series of grunts and growls and other bodily forms of communication. And how ape men, how ape men would have actually communicated with each other. So Moonwatch and his tribe are constantly pursued and hunted and tormented by a leopard who are tormenting them. And this leopard one day kills and drags off a member of Moonwatcher's tribe and drags him off, one of these members into the wilderness and eats him. And as the story progresses, one day Moonwatcher and his tribe are have actually found this massive stone, this monolith, as it's described in the novel. Think about it as a kind of a massive domino. It is like a rectangle. It's a massive rectangle. It doesn't have any markings. It is very straight and very smooth. And it doesn't have any blemishes or any descriptions carvings or anything like that in it. It's just like a single massive domino, like a massive rectangle. And at first it's clear. It's like kind of like see-through, kind of like a diamond. You can see right through it. It is transparent. And when Moonwatcher and his tribe interact with it, it turns black and it heightens Moonwatcher and his tribe's intelligence. It gives them heightened intelligence, and it makes them more smarter, and it makes them more intelligent. As I said, it makes them better leaders, and it gives them the ability to use tools. But this monolith isn't really described about what it is or why it's on Earth or why it's doing what it's doing or who even put it there. That kind of describes it at the end, but not really in a really concise, descriptive way that I even understand actually. But yeah, but I mean, what I do know is that about this monolith is that it's alien in origin. We do know that it came from outer space, and I believe that it was when this book in the description of the book, I believe it was the way that humanity became more intelligent. So from when we were cavemen, when we were growling and communicating with each other, for when we were like being more intelligent what we are now. Obviously, I'm probably not being much intelligent right now, but yeah, I mean, you get the idea. So in the novel, Moonwatcher is only in the first chapter of the book, which is called Primeval Night, which is about 20 pages. He and his tribe are only mentioned in the first chapter only. They may be mentioned in several of the other chapters in their book as the story progresses, but I didn't notice it. But yeah, but in a way, after the first chapter, we do a massive jump to when we are working and living in space, and there is a doctor called Doctor Hayward Floyd, who is going into a rocket, and he's flying up to the moon, where he where loads of reporters are like asking him about the pandemic and flu virus that is apparently on Mars. That's been apparently reported to be happening on Mars. So I was thinking, oh great, another book about a flu pandemic, new epidemic. Great, that's really going to cheer me up. But when he goes up into the space, and I believe that that's his rocket on the cover, and this I think this is Space Station 1 where he eventually ends up. Apologies if this is not Space Station 1 in the novel, but that's what I believe it is. And also there's another little picture of a spaceship there. So when he gets onto the surface of the moon, he discovers a big group of scientists, and they found the monolith. The monolith, whether it's the same one that elevated the intelligence of Moonwatcher and his tribe, is here nor there. I don't believe it is. I think it's a different monolith, but they are kind of studying it. And kind of like Moonwatcher, he is only mentioned in the second chapter of the novel, which is called TMA1. That's what that's what they call the monolith. So if you're reading this and you come across TMA1, you're thinking, what are they talking about? They're talking about the monolith. That's pretty much what that means. It's kind of like their code name for it. So they are kind of like studying it. They find that one person stands in front of it, and when the light's shining on them, no shadow can be cast on the monolith. The second chapter is really slow. I didn't really like anything with Dr. Floyd's chapter. It was fine. It was kind of like unnecessary. But the main storyline and the main characters of the novel start off from the third chapter, which is the Between Worlds, and they carry on for the rest of the book. So they and these characters are in the movie as well, which are more prominent in the movie, which is the character of David Bowman and Frank Pohl, and the famous suicidal, or not suicidal, the psychotic computer, Hal, or Hal 9000 as he's referred to in the book. They are kind of like the main characters of the book when it gets going. They are from like chapter 3, as I said, Between Worlds. They go to the Abyss. The chapter Abyss. The next chapter, the Moons of Saturn, and the last chapter of the novel, Through the Stargate. David and Frank are in space. They're kind of studying space. I'm not really sure. It's very boring. Frank goes out into space. He's doing some stuff in space, and Hal is very dedicated to the mission of that Frank and Dave are actually on. Hal is very dedicated to the mission. He knows exactly what is going to happen and why they're doing it, and he is very narrow-minded. Hal isn't a computer. He isn't like a computer program. He isn't like a human being, but his consciousness is real as you and me. It's actually kind of like really great as well, because what Arthur did in the novel is that he kind of started the novel as I said with when we were a caveman, and where it ended, it actually ends with Hal, where Arthur kind of suggests about where humanity could go. We could go to a point where artificial intelligence could become more intelligent and more sophisticated than humans that we actually created them. They could become more intelligent than us. They could overthrow us. This has been done numerous times in the Terminator movies as well. And that's kind of like a strange, fascinating subject to actually think about. Things that we actually created could become technically more intelligent than us, because phones and technology is becoming more sophisticated and more advanced every single day. And every single year there's a new phone that's coming out, or a new iPod, or a new software that's coming out that's being improved upon constantly. And there could be a point where artificial intelligence could become the dominant species of the of our planet Earth, if that makes sense. And that's a really fascinating subject as well. If you think about the internet's like a massive book in its own that covers every single topic. And technically the internet can be more intelligent than the average human because of the wide amount of knowledge it actually has. Anyway, I'm actually diverting from the story. So Frank, so there's an accident in space, and Frank is killed in space because Hal doesn't really want to kill him off, but I think that Frank must have done something to jeopardize the mission, so Hal decided to kill him. David, great name by the way, decides to, Hal is being very psychotic and unreasonable, and he decides to go and into the kind of like the sensor, kind of like the like machinery area, I'm not sure where it is, and the computer area, and try to pull out all these little bibbly bobs and all these computer thingamajiggies, and basically destroys Hal's intelligence and just actually destroys Hal. This is kind of like a risky move for David, because Hal is the essential element for the spaceship to actually run. Without Hal, the spaceship is pretty much dead in the sea or the sky or whatever. I hope I'm making sense, guys. I'm trying to make sense about this, because this novel, even though it's incredibly short, how come this novel is more complicated than Dune? Or Dune. It baffles the mind. It really does. And also at the end, when if you've seen the movie, there is a moment in the movie where Hal sings "Daisy, Daisy." I think that's what the name of the song is called. That is referred to in the book as well. So that's kind of like a nice Easter egg, or kind of like a nice little bit of information for you. And then at the end, it kind of like dragged on. I won't say what happens at the end, but the ending is very strange. So that's basically what it is. The monolith is in every single element of these characters. So Moonwatcher sees it, and Dr. Floyd sees it, and David sees it as well. I think it's floating in space and it's massive. So that's basically what the story is. What I liked about it, I like the character of Moonwatcher. I think he was my favourite character throughout the book. I liked Hal. Probably like Hal and Moonwatcher are probably my favourite characters. And some of the story is kind of cool as well. some of the descriptions about what the monolith does to these 8 men, and to heighten their abilities, and when it turns black, it kind of indicates that it's maybe fulfilled its mission by doing this. I don't know. I'm actually pulling at strings to try to explain to myself about what I've just read. What I disliked about it is the writing style mostly, because this novel mostly focuses on less of dialogue. The dialogue between characters is very, very, very rare. If you were to like make a list about all the dialogue that characters actually say to one another physically, it would only come up to be maybe about 3 and maybe 4 pages at best. This describes the story in a series of when someone's actually maybe looking at the characters from an outside point of view, kind of like a narrator, and describes to the reader what's actually happening and what the characters are doing. This doesn't lead, and by doing this, it doesn't give the reader much chance to actually have an opportunity to get to know the characters or fall in love with the characters, or maybe it doesn't give any character arcs as well, non-existent in this novel. The characters don't change, they don't improve, they don't come across any conflicts apart from when David had to defeat Hal. It's really in a really good way, but I'm more of a character-driven kind of reader. I like books that are character-driven. They can have a good story, but I'm more of a character-driven reader. So if you like books that are heavily character-driven, read this. It won't hurt, but you won't get much character development in this. So that's what I mostly disliked. Some of the characters that I couldn't really care much for, like Dr. Floyd and Frank Pohl, I didn't care much for. I'm sure if it was more character driven, I would have loved the characters more, but what can you do? Let me know as well if you've read any more of Arthur's work, whether he does this a lot of it, in his novels. Excuse me, where he talks about the situations from a outside perspective, like I said, like a narrator, and where his novels don't really focus on dialogue. Let me know down in the description if that's your experience. I'm trying to make sense. Hopefully I am trying to make sense, guys. That's my likes and dislikes. If you like this novel, that is great. My closing thoughts on this is that if you are trying to get into science fiction, and if you want to read the first science fiction book, I wouldn't let this be your first book that you pick up if you're trying to get into science fiction. This is only if you're really interested in space, because it appears to be that Arthur was very intrigued about space travel, and he was a very intelligent man. It does bring up NASA and space travel, and also astronomy. So if you are interested in astronomy and space travel, not in a more fictional world like Star Trek or Star Wars, but real life space travel or planets, this is probably the book for you. If this is your first, but don't let this be your first science fiction book. There's loads of other science fiction books that would be more appropriate for your first read. But if you've been reading science fiction for quite a while, read this. It's very short. What is it? It's about 224 pages. It does have a little epilogue at the end as well, where it has a little conversation with the kind of like from the film's perspective. It has a section where Arthur's talking about Stanley Kubrick's experience with the movie and his process for the movie. It's very short. It's about 5 pages long, but yeah. My rating of it, I was going to give this a 3 stars out of 5, but the ending kind of let it down for me. It's very boring. It was very tedious getting through the ending as well. So it's a very middle of the road book for me, and I will give it a 2.5 stars out of 5. Didn't like it first time, but I am prepared to give it a reread. Maybe I like it a lot better on a reread, guys. I don't know. But I am prepared to give this a reread, so that's a plus, I suppose. I mean, I'm not going to put this down and never read it again. I'm not sure when I will actually reread this. I mean, I'm going to get rid of this copy for space in my room, and I might put it on my Kindle as well. And also let me know if you're watching this Thinking Film, if you want me to send this to you because you live in the UK like me. Let me know if you want me to send this to you in the post, and I will do so. But I mean, right now, 2.5 stars for 2001. Out of 5. Yeah, that's really it, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Give me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this. Maybe I completely missed the point of this story. Maybe I missed some elements of the story that went completely over my head. Let me know in the comments down below, and we'll have a discussion about it. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. If you, by some mind-boggling way that you actually like me rambling on for about 26 minutes now, yeah, that's great. So stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in my next video, whatever it may be at this point. So have a great day, guys. Bye, and thank you so much if you have come this far with me. It actually means a lot to me, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye.